Okay, hello, welcome everyone. I'm using this opportunity to welcome you all to the Microsoft Build After Party, and this is being hosted by the Microsoft Dynamics user group here in Nigeria. So, where are you joining us from? Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and for some joining us from other regions of the world, I'm sure it's going to be about evening time as well. So I'll be introducing some of our great speakers. Someone saw um, the the design and was like, okay, it's a league of MVPs. Yes, so we have all MVPs in the house today, and we are going to be looking at every of I would say the nitty gritties that pertains to all around the dynamics and the business application platform that was unraveled in the course of the Microsoft build, and we are going to be enjoying ourselves watching some video highlights, some features, as well as some of the speakers open up some things that we might not have seen or might not have actually taken note of. So it's actually a teaser because the entire content for the Microsoft build is out there for you to consume. So this is more of like a teaser to open you up to the new capabilities. Okay, some are already in general availability, some are yet to go into general availability, while yeah, they're still in preview. So but we are going to be seeing and talking around some of them today. So I'll be welcoming Ayotunde Ayola. He's also an MVP, business application. He's a technical architect, solution architect as well. Then we have Omolola Alfred, who is also another MVP in the building. Welcome, Omolola. Also, she's also an MVP business applications, CRB Komi as well, from the finance and operations side, ARP side of the entire Microsoft business applications, also an MVP. Then we have Ahmed Abdulaziz. Yes, so welcome, also an MVP. Joining us straight from Avanad. So welcome on board, everyone. So you can unmute your mics. Let everyone meet you.
Hi everyone, can we hear me? Am I loud and clear? All right.
Yeah,
Good to
sure.
be
Yes,
here.
Ayola, I can hear you.
Fantastic. It's good to be here. I'm Ayo, uh, a solutions architect, like
Um,
Funsha said.
okay. Hold on, guys. Can anyone see me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so before we introduce ourselves, so we met Ayola, but he's going to do the reintro again. So let's take a very short break, and then we'll be right back. Okay.
All right, so we're just going to go ahead with the introduction. So thank you so much if you're still joining us. My name is Amalala Alfred. I'm a Microsoft Business Application developer, and also Microsoft Business Application Most Valuable Professional. And as we've heard, Ayatollah Ayala has actually introduced himself. So we're just going to allow the other speakers introduce themselves before we go into what we have for us today. So over to you, Ahmed. Hi, how you doing?
Hello?
Yes, Ahmed, we can hear you now.
All right, seems that Ahmed has, a little bit of lag and all of that. So hi, Komi. How you doing? How is your
Yeah,
side?
hi. Yeah, I'm doing good. All right. Hi, everyone.
Awesome.
My name is Komi Shabi. I'm techno-functional consultant in Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation. Also an MVP. And I would say I'm very glad to be here. That's it.
Awesome. Hi, Ayatunde Ayala. How you doing? I can see that you are like in a car. How you doing? How you doing? Because currently here in Lagos it's actually raining. So if you are joining us, let us know where you're joining us from. How is it at your side? Is it raining at your side? Or if you're not joining us from Lagos, where are you joining us from? What's the temperature like in the region that you're joining us from? Because here in Lagos it's raining, so we can see you today in the car. So from here on, I'm just going to allow Funsha take over and tell us exactly what we are doing in this Microsoft Build after party. Okay? Hi, Funsha.
Hi. Thank you, Malala, for having me back. So, basically, the Microsoft build, it happened. That was last week, where we had Satya Nadella, the Microsoft CEO, came and gave a keynote, and those keynotes were actually driving home essential points as to how the current innovations are driving the Microsoft ecosystem. And now we have the ChatGPT 4 going live on so many of our products. And also we have our co-pilot, okay, also with every of the, I would say with majorly, if not all now, but we majorly with major of the power of the Microsoft suite of applications as well, ranging from the business applications to even the first party apps. Okay, so we have so many um, coming on that specific platform. So we're going to be looking at the co-pilot first, where we're going to be discussing about some of the features that are coming in via the co-pilot. Then some other things that we would still do, we'll be covering areas around Dataverse custom plugins. Also, we'll be looking at managed environments. Also, we'll have some of, and in between all of this, we are going to be looking at or watching some videos, okay, to see how these things are actually coming into play, how they are coming into practice. But and most of them, I would say, are still in preview. I think by the ending of June or and beginning of yep, June, July, we should be having them in general availability in many of the regions of the world. Right now, most of those features, if you don't have it in your regions yet, not to worry. Okay, you can create a trial and then you would find them inside of the preview. That's in the US. There's a preview environment where you can actually have those enabled for yourselves. Okay, so before we go on, I will be playing us a video now of I would say some of the key highlights of the Microsoft build. So I think the video is about 7 minutes long. So we'll be looking at it. Then when we are back, okay, from that video review, we're going to be talking about the co-pilot, okay, and then the new possibilities. So we'll hear from each of the speakers. We'll hear from each of the speakers what these are and how it's going to be affecting our jobs and day-to-day operations with the platform going forward, because really it's a game changer. I'm sure Ayotunde, you can bear with me, it's a game changer. A whole lot of things has come and is being disrupted. And if there's a keyword I took away from the Microsoft build, it was that the current ecosystem, or the co-pilot rather, and the AI functionalities are now here to I would say unravel our creativity, okay, and then I would say increase our productivity. And those were the keywords that I would say actually I left with, because it means that creativity, everyone can now be creative in their own space, and then we can have more productive effort in our engagement. So I'll be sharing my screen now, and then we'll be looking at short videos, and I might have to stop at intervals as well, just to take some comments from our very great speakers in the house.
Good morning. It's fantastic to see you all. Welcome to Build. We're bringing search grounding in Bing to ChatGPT. We are very excited about this. Yeah, you can clap. Look, ChatGPT is the most sort of fast-growing consumer app we've ever seen. And search grounding is very key feature, right? So that all information is current and grounded by what you have from the crawl and the index. And so it's fantastic to see that. We're excited to be able to, it's going to launch in ChatGPT Plus immediately and quickly coming even to the free tier. And this is just the start of what we plan to do with our partners in OpenAI to bring the best of Bing to the ChatGPT experience. Next, we're bringing the Copilot to the biggest canvas of all, Windows.
And today, as Satya said, we're excited to announce that we're going to bring ChatGPT and Bing together as with the default search experience to give you higher quality answers and more timely answers. Let's take a look. Here I am in ChatGPT, and as you can see now, Bing is the default. And when I come in and select it, I can now ask sort of real-time queries. For example, let's ask what I should expect to hear about Build and .NET. And what you can see is the results now are more up-to-date. They include fresh content, and they include citations. In fact, if you can see the links on that page there, you can click those, and those will take you straight to a web page that's sourced by Bing. We're also excited. Yeah, absolutely. You can clap for it. We're also excited to announce that we're going to bring interoperability between ChatGPT and Bing for plugins. Write them once, and they're going to run everywhere. So as you can see here in ChatGPT, I've got Zillow and Instacart enabled, but I want to show them to you here in Bing Chat. So we'll flip over, and you can see again, I've got the same plugins now in both Bing Chat and in ChatGPT. And what we're going to show you now is I'll do a search here for houses in Chicago, and I can ask for a set of criteria, learn a little bit about the neighborhoods. And now I can automatically call Zillow by saying, hey, give me 3 houses in a certain price range that meet my criteria. And what you can see is now I get these great options, and I'm also going to get all of the other great things you get with Bing, like helpful city guides and maps and prompts. I'm going to tell you now how we're going to further add value to the plugins that you write. They're going to work not just in Chat and ChatGPT. They're going to work across the entire web, courtesy of the Edge browser. So here's an example. I'm on a web page here checking out a recipe for a cake. And now I can call Bing Chat and ask it to tell me, hey, give me the ingredients from this web page. And notice Bing can read the context of the web page, understand those ingredients, put them into Chat. And then I can say, hey, give me a shopping list for this. And it'll automatically call the Instacart plugin, take those ingredients right off the page and put them into an Instacart shopping. And with one click, I can get those now delivered to my house. This is an incredible productivity benefit for people. Let me show you now how. Yeah. Let's show you how you'll be more productive at work. Here, I'm going to use Microsoft 365 to need some help for drafting a legal contract. I got a legal contract here, and I need some help with California law. So I'm going to call 3 plugins from Thomson Reuters to edit this document. First thing is I'll go into Copilot, and I'll pull it up, and I'll say, hey, help me understand how to edit the limitation of liability using the Practical Law plugin. It'll read the document, find the paragraph, and make that change. Next, I want to know if this is enforceable under California law. So I'll call the Westlaw plugin that will do that analysis, and it'll come back and give me an analysis about it from a legal perspective. And finally, since we're making lots of changes, I'd like to know the summary of all of these changes. And with Document Intelligence, I get a simple table that shows you all of those changes in an easy-to-read format. By joining the power of Microsoft 365 Copilot in Word, with the support of these real powerful plugins like Thomson Reuters, now you can draft a legal contract in so much more powerful way.
AI Studio. This is the full life cycle tool chain for you to be able to build your intelligent AI apps and your co-pilots. Everything from being able to train your own models to be able to then ground, whether it's OpenAI or any open source model, with data that you bring, built-in vector indexing in Azure Search, built-in support for RAG or retrieval augmented generation support, or built-in support for prompt engineering with prompt flow and orchestration, and of course, built-in support for perhaps the most important feature, which is AI safety. One of the things that we've been hard at work is to build into the tool chain AI safety. We've been at work on AI safety for the last 5 years. We have principles which we have translated into a core set of processes that we implement across our engineering stack. And then, of course, we have all of the compliance and oversight. But the real challenge is not just to have these things outside the engineering process, but to build it into the everyday tool
Okay,
chain.
so
And that's what we
I would have to take a pause on this one now. Okay, so now you've seen already the functionalities of AI, ChatGPT, Copilot coming into being, coming into the productivity apps. Okay, and you would have been hearing plugins, create plugins, and things like that. So I'll be stopping the screen sharing at this point, and just one word. Okay, one word. So Omolola, like in one word, just explain how these felt when you heard Satya and the team come up to tell us about these new amazing features.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking, for sure. For me, right, I think one of the most important things that we need to see from this is that the art of, doing anything now has changed. The art of programming has changed. The art of even local development has changed. Local development can now be easier. Normal searching of things can now be easier. So when I saw it, I was like, hey, you're making my life so much easier. So that was how I felt. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, really, it just felt like the new age of internet. That's how it felt. Like we are into a new era of the internet. Imagine when computer was first introduced, when I could go to the cyber cafe, sit down and buy time and log in into the and start chatting on then Yahoo Mail and things like that. But now it's a lot different, a lot different. Okay, so now we'll be going into the topic where we're going to be talking about custom Dataverse plugins, custom Dataverse plugins, and I'll be calling on Ayotunde to just tell us briefly about how this has come to impact the business. And when we talk about Dataverse, I'm sure many of us should know what Dataverse is by now. If you don't know worries. There are lots of information, lots of links that we'll be sharing right in the chat section. So we want you to use those links to go to the Microsoft Build the site so that you can actually have accessibility to the content that we are previewing for you live today. Okay, so I'll today over to you where we're going to be looking at how you can use custom plugins Dataverse in low on creating bespoke Dataverse plugins and having it more personalized and making our solutions more effective. So over to you, Aitunde.
All right. Thank you for sure. Thank you, everyone. Please confirm once again that I'm audible and clear and there's no break. Fantastic. All right. It's good to be here. I'm so excited to be here, everybody. Thank you for having me. It's so beautiful what is happening in the ecosystem of Microsoft, basically, with what Microsoft is pushing out there, right? Uh, Generally, if we look at what we have as of today, in the low code space, especially for people who already know how to use Power Apps to build applications, and then you've engaged with database systems like Dataverse, right, or data engineering systems like Dataverse to optimize your Power Apps development, right? Now, you would understand that for a 360 application development, you need some sort of integrations, right? But before you can, if you have an application you're building, you definitely want to have a database connection. You want to have a web service connection, an endpoint connection, and all of that. Now, it's not far fetched even within the low code engineering space. So, the low code, no code, yes, we don't write code and all of that, or we write just minute functions to get our applications out there. However, you would understand that there will be situations where in developing systems using the Microsoft Power Platform, Microsoft Dynamics 365 to build systems for organization, there will be situations where companies come and say, you know what, we would like to have your Dynamics talk to our software platform, our web platform, and all of that. If there are situations like that, right, then you might be looking at, how can I integrate these systems? That's where you have the Power Automate and all of that. And if it gets more complex than that, then Microsoft says, you know what, we give you access to, as a pro developer, we give you access to then open your Visual Studio Code, write some sort of JavaScript, bring your JavaScript library in as a web resource inside the Microsoft
Mm-hmm.
Dataverse, connecting to the Dataverse engine, and then boom, you are able to have, clean up your whatever applications you are building with that particular JavaScript. Or you could say, you know what, I like this model driven application, but I want to bring in a few things, all right? And then you can open your Visual Studio and then use your C sharp to write some sort of, functions to clean up your model driven app. Beautiful thing. Now, that is not even the interesting thing, right? That's straightforward. You can enter Visual Studio, write a function, push the function down into Power Apps using some sort of registration tool like the plugin registration tool. But with this new update that is outside now, so Microsoft released something recently, and that was what honestly that got my attention during build, is the fact that even in writing your plugins and in writing your code these days, you have that partner that can help you do some of those things, Copilot. So which means as a Dynamics 365 person, as a Power Platform person, you have situations where you need to get plugins out. And plugins are very, to be able to think through code, extending plugin base, writing your functions, and all of those things, right? Now you have a, AI system that you can just say, you know what, I need a plugin that can click a button, and it just thinks through it, it looks at it, and then writes it for you, and then boom, in like maybe you have just 5-10 minutes to clean it up, and then you're good to go, right? That
Yeah.
is a game
Yeah.
changer. Within Visual
Yeah.
Studio, on build also, they talked about some Copilot integration within Visual Studio already. It's a game changer, and I think that for those who have that interest, right? If you look at that, you already are building plugins and all of that. If you now pick that up with the AI capability of the system, now you have AI capability on the application side, you have AI
Hmm.
capability on your code side, you
On your
now
code
have
side.
so by the time you have those, what has happened is you have reduced the time. Last week I had the work to do, and I went there and I was trying to write the function, and I just, okay, you know what? Let me ask. I just used Binge. I went to Binge and I asked that
Bing.
Binge AI to
The Bing
I'm trying
chat.
to I need this function in Power Apps, and it gave me the exact function. So I was writing the code also for the plugin I was writing. I was like, okay, this code I'm thinking of. Then I said, okay, so I wrote my function in the Bing chat, like this is my code. That how can I make this code better? And he rearranged my code for me. It was so beautiful.
Awesome.
Like So
Yeah.
that's the beauty of what we're talking about. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for sure.
Yes, in fact, it's just the way I has just explained it. Like you can see him mentioning most of what he was saying was based on pro development, and meaning that you are not left out. And if you notice to what he said also, it brings speed. So you don't have to do the manual thinking yourself. You put it into the Copilot, and then you have it. I think the first time I heard of Copilot was in I think Azure. I think Azure AI then, and now we're having it in the business application space. So, guys, like I said, this is a teaser. Okay, so there's a lot more. So the links will be coming out shortly, and you can kindly navigate to the build platform or to the build portal where you can have access to all of these that we are currently talking about. Okay, so let's see. So we'll be going to the next topic now, and I'm looking at which of my speakers I'm going to be pointing at. Okay, just a moment. Okay, Ahmed, is it a go go? Okay, I can see I made it set already. So I'll be sharing my screen again, and this time around, what we are going to be looking at is going to be based on the aspect of artificial intelligence innovation. Okay, artificial intelligence innovation, and we are talking about in the side of Power Virtual Agents. So that's what we're looking at. If you don't know what Power Virtual Agent is, basically it's that aspect of the Power Platform that helps you with building of chatbot, okay, a conversational tool that you can integrate anywhere on Teams, on a website, on Telegram, on Twilio. Yep. So you can actually do all of this. So we're going to be looking at how the AI, okay, the co-pilot, how it has affected the Power Virtual Agent side of things. Okay. So just a moment, and here goes.
Can't wait to invite Kendra on stage to go through and show what's possible, what they've built, and even more importantly, how they built it. Take it away, Kendra.
Thank you so much, Charles. Hey, everyone. Bots typically do two things: answer questions and complete tasks for their users. And I am so excited to show you how with generative AI and Power Virtual Agents, we can enable them to do both without manually authoring a single conversation, which can result in some pretty amazing bot experiences like this one. Roll the tape. We'll jump ahead. We were going to show you the cake, and then we were going to show you how we were going to make the cake, but we're just going to wait until to unveil the cake till the very end. So we're going to jump ahead. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and show you just how easily it is to get started building the bots that Charles spoke about with generative answers. So from right here within the AI capabilities page, I can easily point my bot to a number of different knowledge sources, such as the Holland America website or other internal proprietary knowledge sources like Agent Manual or SharePoint. I can also control how the bot behaves within the advanced AI configuration settings. And with just a few clicks, my bot is immediately able to have rich conversations over these data sources. So this will be my first cruise, and I'm not really sure which travel documents I need to bring with me. And just like that, I'm able to see exactly which documents I need to board the cruise, as well as some helpful links to where I can find this information on the website. Better yet, though, these conversations can now have multiple turns while maintaining the conversation context. And if I wanted to, I could go ahead and publish this bot to my website or a number of other channels such as Facebook or Teams. We know, though, that simply providing information is not enough when our customers are coming to our bots for help. We also need to be able to take action on their behalf. For example, retrieving a reservation status by calling a backend API. Now, typically, you would need to build every single one of these topics within Power Virtual Agents, state-of-the-art low-code authoring canvas, which just went GA yesterday. And this is assisted with Copilot, of course. But with the new GPT-powered conversation engine, this process can be entirely transformed. Your bot now has a library of different plugins that function like Lego blocks that it can self-assemble in order to fulfill the user's request. And where any required information is missing, it can actually generate the question to gather this from the customer. These plugins include enterprise APIs or any of the thousands of pre-built Power Platform connectors. They include Power Automate flows and, of course, bot topics. So if you have actually built a bot and you're sitting in the audience right now and you have spent months and months testing and refining and iterating and testing again and writing lines and lines of code, I know that this sounds like a fairy tale, but it's not, and I'm going to show you. So remember, all I've done is point my bot to a couple of Holland America APIs and added one pre-built weather connector. I have built no manual topics by hand. Now, in order to get started testing, so you can see this in action, I'm going to go ahead and open up our new tracing mode so you can see these plugins automatically chain together in real time and follow the conversation in the test chat on the left. Now, I'm curious, what last-minute cruise options are available to the Bahamas next week, and what's the weather there like right now? I'm a habitual overpacker, so I'm really hoping this can help me. Sometimes hitting enter is the hardest part of these demos. And just like that, GPT is able to parse my request and understand that it can fulfill it with the combination of a call to a reservation system with a custom connector action plugin and a pre-built weather connector plugin. And again, throughout this, thank you. I was going to signal the applause later, but I love the enthusiasm. So yes, keep it going. It only gets better. Along the way, you're able to follow the system's thoughts and observations to understand how the large language model decided what to do next. Now, the bot was able to identify the input for destination and time were fulfilled and return the weather portion of the question here. Remember, I built no what is the weather topic, right? It also recognized that the departure port required input to be able to return the cruise options is missing and actually generated that question to gather the information from me. So I think I'll depart from Miami. And amazingly, it extracted the entity Miami to fill the missing input slot and execute the call to the reservation system to provide last-minute cruises from Miami to the Bahamas next week. This is where you applaud.
Okay, so I would have to stop this at that point. Now, you would see that if you've been building chatbots before, okay, and now you are starting to build again, it would feel a whole lot new to you. Okay, because now you don't need to write the topics yourself now. Okay, Copilot is there, and as you can see, it is now intuitive, like it is very, very much smart. And to crown it all, now you can have several connectors in it, so not just you, so it means your connectors will be coming as a node inside of your chat bot builder. So I would be passing the mic over to Ahmed, and he should take us into how these get or affect the operationability of, I would say, omnichannel in the Dynamics 365 space.
All right, thank you very much. Am I audible enough? Yeah, okay. Yes, it's been so wonderful things that what Microsoft actually introduced this year, and I think this year is just all about AI, Copilot, and all of that. For Microsoft, especially Power Platform, right? So I will just go straight to the point, and when we talk about the Power Virtual Agent, and then generally, so it's let you create like a web chat, an AI, Power Chatbot, for a range of that provide the kind of range of information that you will normally require from human interaction. So and these are the things you see on the website where we have a web chat that you actually get to, you know, get information about a particular topic. Like it could be a product or something within a website. Um, Now coming to dynamics and perhaps omnichannel for customer service, for example. And before I come to that, I will talk about first in terms of the co-pilot, in terms of building the Power Virtual Agent itself. And before now, just like what we see now, and what is more interesting than just a few days ago, I was developing the Power Virtual Agent, and what I can do is just to provide the topic and the co-pilot do the rest. So when we talk about co-pilots, I mean providing an assistant for you, just like you have a pilot and a co-pilot, having assistant that able to suggest to you what you can do and the next thing to do on probably what you can do next, So it's kind of, providing such that simplicity and also make it to save a lot of time to build such an app itself, right? So now, and in terms of creating the entire topic from a simple description and also adding and updating the content into existing topic, and it also allow you to summarize information collected from user. For example, it can also iterate over the part of your the dialogue when you're building your information. So and of course, we know that generally, when we talk about omnichannel for customer service, that allows the customer organizations to manage their customer communication or issue and address issues relating to product and all that. So, Power Virtual Agent is, can be embedded to omnichannel for customer service, and therefore omnichannel for customer service into Dynamics 365. You understand? So, and how this can able to help the users to interact and also navigate through um, the information within themselves and how they can be able to manage cases, for example, communication within the customers and are able to address the customer issue as soon as possible. But then, and how can you build this Power Virtual Agent, right? And it is what a co-pilot is actually bringing in without wasting too much of time. And in building this application, as you can see, they allow you to be able to check weather condition, and also you can be able to check the status of the flight, let you to create an app that allow the user to plan an event, for example, and also to book a leave request and so on and so forth. So with the co-pilot, this has actually makes the works of developer. You don't have to be a developer to know how to build this thing. I mean, this Power Virtual Agent, especially with the co-pilot system itself. So I would like to stop here, and because of time, and so in all, so the co-pilot and the AI has actually come to stay in the Power Platform, with a low code and or no code experience, and it's actually help us to bring this into a fast-paced development in the technology industry, especially in Microsoft technologies. Thank you very much. Sure.
Yes, thank you very much, Ahmed. All on point, all on point. Now you can integrate this with your Dynamics 365 for channel. It's a seamless integration with that. And not just that, if you have a website you want to bring this to, that is, you want to integrate it to a website, you want to integrate it to Facebook, any instant messaging platform, you are good to go with this. But now, like I said from the beginning, the Copilot and the AI capabilities have now come, okay, to make you, I would say, unravel creativity and then increase productivity. If there's anything I took away, like I said earlier, it's those keywords, okay? You are becoming more creative and then you are becoming more productive as well, okay? So now we'll be going into the third section for today, where we're going to be looking at how some big organizations still utilizes Excel spreadsheets, okay? And now we're going to be looking at a demo video. We won't be completing it, okay? Like I said, it's a teaser. So the link will be, I should be shared by now already. So kindly follow that link to the build portal, okay, where you can actually have accessibility to all of these that we've been talking about, this amazing feature, the co-pilot, the AI functionality, okay? So you need to start laying your hands, putting your hands on these tools, okay? So I'll be playing this video first. I won't finish it so that you should go and continue, okay, for yourself. So let's dive right in.
Manage their customer satisfaction. So the Wood Group Bank is very keen in improving their customer satisfaction. Over the years, they have been collecting their customer support tickets from different departments in a Excel file. Look familiar, right? Don't we all have some messy Excel data in our to be cleaned folder, right? This one doesn't even have a header. So you can see this is not okay for a business. It's not able to scale. Excel is not a database, and it's not easy for them to see data insights. So they need an app to automate this process. This app should run on phones, tablets, and desktop computers. Building that app could be expensive, but not if you're using Power Apps. Now let me show you. I'm here, like the first step is just to upload the Excel. So I'm on the homepage of Power Apps. I'll click Start with Data, upload an Excel file, and I have this data already curated. So while this is loading, let me tell you before this, what you have to do to upload an Excel. So you will have to go to Dataverse first, create your schema. So you will have to give it some meaningful names. You configure column by column. You have to create your choice value as well if you have any. But now with this, AI is doing the heavy lifting. You can see it is generating a table name and description for you. And also, it does recognize some repeated value in your column. So it can recognize and create choice value for you. So I'm good with this. Now let's go ahead, create this app. I'll jump to the app I already created using the same process to save some weight. And it already has a gallery of the data, and it also has a form connected to it. But we know in real life, business logic can be more complex than just a single screen. So I'm going to demonstrate how we use Copilot to help add an escalation flow here. So the escalation works in the way like if the agent sees some ticket they want to escalate, they will want to click on a button and it will lead them to a email page where they can send an email to their supervisors to handle this. So first of all, I'm going to tell Copilot add a new screen using the email template. So what Copilot is doing is it is able to understand what the natural language is talking about, and it is able to recognize what are the actions it's going to take, including adding a new screen and being able to use that email template. So I think something probably went wrong. Can I go to the backup slide? So what is supposed to happen here is, so this new screen is added, and next we're going to add that escalation button. So what I type in here is add a button called escalate in the selected container. So Copilot does that, and it did understand what I'm saying, and it's adding a button here in the container I selected. And next, what is remaining for us is to connect the button and the screen together. So I'm going to say when clicking on escalate, show screen one. That's the screen we just created using Copilot. And boom, it gives me this little formula on top where if I'm a new maker, I probably don't even know this is where I need to write the navigation formula. So all good. I'm going to test this. So uh, so earlier when I mentioned the app, I didn't mention that it is also by default responsive. So you can try it here, play the app, and you can run it on tablets, running on phone, and you can switch orientation, and then back to window size. And if we're going to test that button, click on it, it will point.
Okay, so we'll be taking a pause on this one. Okay, so and I'm going to be calling on Siabi Komi to actually just speak on this functionality that we are seeing. There are lots of things I can currently see here that if you were to build an app, let's say in a month time, and it's your first time, you'll be like, oh, really? What's this? So, Siabi, over to you.
All right. So just like you said, traditionally, to build an app, we need to think about the back end. We need to create a
Mm-hmm.
database, create the table structures, the field type, and what should these fields contain, right? So we call this
Exactly.
solution
Mm-hmm.
blueprint, where you need to sit down, plan this even before you come to the system and start getting your hands dirty, right?
Yeah.
And
Some even
this,
call it
believe you me, this
data
could take number
modeling.
of days. Exactly. So this could take number of days, but with Copilot, it's like you are delegating part of your work to this Copilot and say, "Help me with this while I take this part." So with the Copilot, like what has just been demonstrated, you have an Excel sheet. Just click on a button, and Copilot is able to scale through those fields, look at the content, the columns, what are the fields type, and also if you have fields that have options, so we call those enumerations. So the Copilot is also able to determine these fields is enumeration and give you the different values. Also, with the Copilot,
Mm.
you can define the particular field that you want to use as the header column. So just in less than 5 minutes, you are able to both create your table structures, you are both able to
Mm-hmm.
populate the data, and you're also able to create a form. So Copilot is so amazing, and you don't really have to be a developer that know how to write C sharp, how to write Visual Basic. No, just with Copilot, you can do greater things. So I think that's it for me. And I think it's a very great thing. And it should encourage some of us to come into the development space, especially with platform where the low code is gradually becoming no code at all. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, CRB, for that. Very apt, very apt. Yes, building applications, you need to think of your data storage, and while thinking of your data storage, those data needs to be modeled. Now you have a co-pilot that understands that. Oh, there is a multiple choice here. Oh, there is a choice column. I can see let's say yes, so many, and I can see no, meaning that I can make this column a choice column. It is
Exactly.
intuitive, it is cognizance, like it's training itself even while trying to help you or while you've delegated some tasks to it. And to add to it,
Yeah.
some uis that you're seeing, okay, those ui elements are the new, or we call them modern ui, that those are the modern ui. Okay, so don't be like, I would say you should embrace it. Okay, just embrace it. Okay, so lastly, now we'll be going into the section whereby Amola is going to be taking us on the concept of managed environment. Okay, managed environment. So we're going to be looking at manage environment, how it has helped to increase productivity, okay, in the Power Platform space. So over to you, Omolola.
All right, so I see that this particular time, we are not sharing a video and all of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell us about the managed environments and Power Platform. So from everything that all the speakers have said, so let me just quickly take some time to appreciate all the speakers that have spoken. Thank you so much, Ayatollah. Thank you so much, Abdulaziz Ahmed. Thank you, Wina. Thank you. All of that is, very apt, and it has actually given me a soft landing. The reason is because if you've ever been developing in Power Apps, right, you would understand that for everything that you're developing in the context of an environment. Okay, so you can be developing in the sandbox environment, you can be developing
Mm-hmm.
in, let's say, the UAT environment, you can be developing in now your app might be migrated, of course, to production environment. You're not meant to develop in production environment. So when we say managed environment, what are we talking about? It means that for everything that all the speakers have said, okay, AI, chat GP, AI, PVA, the part that Winner talked about you transforming your Excel into Dataverse. It basically means that what environment will they be doing all this production? And when they're doing all this production in that environment, what kind of permission will you give to the people developing in the environment? That's basically what managed environment means. So with managed environment that we have now, you've given admins. Microsoft has basically given admins the ability to manage. I'm just going to use the word manage, to control and manage everything that happens in that environment. All right. Another thing that Microsoft has actually done is to bring things like limit sharing. All right. So in that environment, you can actually limit sharing. You can check the usage, right? The admins have insights to actually they will be able to see usage. Okay, how many people are actually using apps or flows and all in this environment, right? They can check they can enforce solution checker. Yes, they can actually enforce solution checker. So basically, if you've been developing, you will notice that you can actually use solution checker when you want to migrate all of that, right? So now, solution checker, enforcing solution checker basically means that the admin has the right or has the power, let me put it like that, has the veto power to actually enforce that everybody must use solution checker. So this particular one is actually in preview. It means that it is not yet in G, it's not yet in general availability. Another thing is that imagine the admin, say global admin or Power Platform admin, they are the ones that will be able to use managed environment. So they can actually go there and see, okay, how many people have used all the solutions in this environment. They can check, they will have insights, right? So managed environment will basically give admins veto power to do more, right? And they will be able to also, they can enforce data policy in that environment. So if you are a company manager, right? You need to actually look into managed environments. The reason is because if you have managed environment, you have some things, you have some lay down rules that you want all the developer that will be using all these environments, you want them to follow. For instance, solution checker, for instance, and for some data policy and all of that. So thank you so much once again for joining us and for being with us. So before I go, I'll just hand over to Funsha Kirili to take over. Hi,
Okay,
Funsha.
awesome. Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. While Lola was speaking, the only thought that could come to mind is governance. Okay, that's just the short form of it. Governance. You've been able to achieve governance in your organization. Okay, controlling who does what, how this is done. Basically, yes, those are very, very much needed, especially in so much large organizations or even small organizations that are embracing Power Platform because everyone wants to build, everyone wants to make their work easier. Okay, so handles will be in the chat. Okay, and I would also like to reiterate again. Let's go to the link. Okay, that was shared in the chat. Let's use the link, you can sign in, okay, to the Microsoft Build. That's the website, and you would have access to the keynotes, to the era of AI Copilot, and other features that we can't even expand in the space of these 1 hour that we are spending with each and every one of you. So one last word from every of our speakers. So regarding this year's Microsoft, I'll say the first Microsoft build. Okay, so one word. So I'll be starting with Siabi. Okay, so one word from you to everyone, or
Okay.
your last words. It might not be a
So
one word, maybe a phrase.
okay. So I would say Copilot is really a good companion.
Okay, awesome. It's a good companion. Now, you know what companion means? It means if you're doing anything, try and carry it along. Okay, so you don't run into
Yeah.
troubles.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Siabi. Okay, I'll go
Yeah.
over to Ayotunde. Any
This one,
last word?
this one, Siabi said one line and left it there. Oh, I would just encourage everybody just to, embrace learning. I think that would be my word. New things are coming out, so you need to really embrace learning. So, Copilot is not coming to take your job. The people that can use it will take your job. All right. So embrace learning.
Mm, yes, thank you very much, Ayola. And look at, I'm wearing a shirt, and what's inscribed on the shirt? Learn, learn. Yes, so you need to learn. Okay, so over to you, Ahmed Abdulaziz.
Yeah, just like Ayo said, that Copilot is not coming to take your work, and that is why it is Copilot. That means to come and assist you, not to take your work. You understand? So all you need to do, be positive to your companion and ensure I am going to get a good result. And this is what Power Platform is giving you from Microsoft. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ahmed Abdulaziz. I'll save the last for myself. So over to you, Omodola.
Okay, so my favorite word anytime we have a program like this, which is guys, take advantage. That's the essence of all of this. All these things, all the things that Build have said, if you don't use it, is a waste. Take advantage. Leave the local development and come to the new. Take advantage. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much, Omodola. Yes, we've heard everyone. It's a companion. Okay. Learn. Yes, I'm wearing a Microsoft Learn t-shirt. And where you are going to be learning is on Microsoft Learn. Okay. Many of the co-pilots, the features that have been released. And one amazing thing is they are coming alongside with their package of instructions. Okay, that is their guide to help you navigate those new UI. So you don't need to worry, okay, about those. So that's why the link that is shared, I would advise us to explore those links a lot well, okay. And also, as we've heard Lola said, take advantage, okay, take advantage. We have videos from the Dynamics 365 user group Nigeria that we've created that can help you set up developer environment, testing tenants, where you would have the capability to create and also try out and test new features for yourself. So one last word, or my own word for everyone, I would say think productivity, okay, and think innovation, because now the power to achieve it is, I would say, is everywhere, okay. It's good. It's very soon on your Windows machine. You'll be having Copilot on your Windows machine. Like I can just go to a Windows app now and just chat with it and I'll get my feedback. So really, I would say think productivity, think innovation, and you'll be able to achieve quite a lot more with the features that Microsoft has brought to us. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining us on this episode of the Microsoft Build After Party. And we say a very big thank you to every of our speakers, our MVPs. They're all MVPs. Okay, Siabi, thank you. Ahmed, thank you. Omolola, thank you. And Ayo Tunde, thank you very much. So see you.
All right.
Bye,
If you should give,
everyone.
if you should give us soft music now, soft music.
Soft music, yeah.
All right. So I would
You
like
know,
to say
play
a shout
Amola
out to.
available
I would like
because
to
we're
say a
available.
shout out to Rakesh.
Okay.
Niger girl immortal, we see
Rakesh.
you. Ninja girl in Malta.
Rakesh, who is joining us
Oh,
from.
Siabi, have you said a shout out already?
No. So I'm sending my shout out to Rakesh, who is joining us from India. Also,
Okay.
Rafa Arujo, who is joining us from Portugal.
Awesome. Thank you,
also
Rakesh.
MVP in the community.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us.
So I'm saying shout out to
Awesome,
Oluwatobi
awesome.
Yusuf joining us from Nigeria. Shout out to all the people that are also here. So I see so many comments and I've highlighted a lot of them. I see Niger girl in Malta saying hi
Yeah.
to, especially I see Oluwatobi Yusuf. I see Emmanuel.
Yeah, I can see Emmanuel, Itoje, yeah. And Andrew as well. I can see Andrew.
All right, thank you so
And also
much.
I can see
everyone.
Ayodeji, awesome. Yeah, thank you
I
everyone.
can see
Thank you,
myself
everyone.
also. I can see myself in this car. Fantastic stuff, man.
Yeah,
Hey, I
Kylie
can see
also.